All right, should we start like that?
Yes, yes, sure.
All right. So good morning and good evening and good afternoon, everyone. Wherever you are joining us, it's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being here. I would like us to take screenshots of it so that we can just post it. And
Okay.
yes, I want to look at the concept of words. So that's what a minute, please.
All right.
All right, I think the noise is minimal now. So we are looking at the concept of words. We're looking at the concept of words. What is words? That's the first question. What exactly is words? So, one thing that I've learned about words is that words is first of all an identity. It is first of all an identity because when you are building words, you don't just start from how do I get money. You don't start from how can I get wealthy. You start from who I am. That's how you start. So some people get wealth creation wrong, get it wrong all through. And that's why you see that some people after many years they don't get rich, they don't get wealthy. So that's because the foundation of wealth has been destroyed. Like the scripture says that if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? So if the foundation of wealth is destroyed, what can the average individual do? It is to go back to that foundation. That's what the average individual and the interested person can do. So if you are interested in getting wealthy, if you are interested in having wealth, you have to go back to the foundation. So it all starts from identity. And people will say they want to get money, they want to get wealthy. The first question to ask yourself if you want to get wealthy is not how do I get wealth? The first question is not how can I get ready? The first question is not how do I get money? The first question is not what do I do to get money? The first question is why am I poor? That's the first question. Why am I in this situation? So when you are able to know the situation that you are in, when you are able to know that this is my current position, you'll be able to know where you are going to. That's it. You have to know your current situation. So you have to either use days or weeks or months to find out why you are in a particular situation. So you have to, okay, so why am I poor? Why is this my situation? Why did I come out from this family, this kind of family? What is the legacy that I am running with, that I was left with by my parents? So the moment you begin to get those things and begin to find out why you are the way you are, you begin to get clarity on the way forward. So the first step is getting to know why you are in that current position. That is the foundation. That is the foundation. So when you get to know where you are, you'll be able to get clarity on where you are going to. So that's why I said that wealth does not start from where you are going to or how do you get wealthy or how do you get money. It starts from why are you poor in the first place. So when you're able to get to know why you are poor, probably because of your character, of your behaviors, of your habits, of your lifestyle, of the things that you do, or probably of diligence, not having diligence and diligence enough. When you begin to find out why you are poor, why you are at the situation that you are in, you will adjust yourself on your journey of wealth creation. So we are still talking about the concept of wealth creation. Now, when you've gotten the answer to that, when you found out the reason why you are poor, the reason why you are stagnant, the reason why you are stuck on your journey of wealth creation, the next step after that is to get clarity on what you can do to get wealthy. That's the first step. So get clarity on what you can do to get wealthy. So it's start
Wait,
from
wait.
okay.
Before we get to that aspect of what to do, when you were talking about why, like why am I poor and all those things,
Yeah.
and it came to my mind, it is still that you are doing something that is still keeping you poor, right, as a person. So
Yeah.
I would like that we demystify that area very well, because most people already know what to do. If we be honest, most people already know what to do in order to
Mm.
become wealthy, but the power to do it, and even sometimes when they are doing it, they do not believe exactly that this is what will make them wealthy. You hear some people saying that it's a lie, big money does not come clean. You hear
Mm.
people saying that go and ask Elon Musk, go and ask Dangote, is it true that it is the business they are doing that brought them into the place where they are currently? So I feel
Yeah.
like before we talk about what to do in order to become
Mm.
wealthy, we should break down that aspect of the reason you are behaving the way you are behaving, you know, the reason you have these habits that you have now that is keeping you poor. And on that line, I would love to say that, or I dare to say that it is from here or from here,
Yeah.
because I've seen it over and over again. Just like you said, if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? And another thing on that aspect is when, as a man thinks in his heart, so he is.
So,
And
yeah.
whatever you continue thinking about is what
Mm.
you will continually be. So
Yeah.
for you to change from behaving in such a way that will end you in poverty, or behaving in such a way that is anti-wealth, then you need to
Yeah.
change the programming, the mindset that is here,
Mm.
before you
Yeah.
change the exact things that you are doing that is
Yeah.
keeping you down, before you now start doing the things that will make you move forward. So I would like to just ask some questions so that I know we can discuss on it. And the first
Yeah.
thing I would like to say is that if you see someone that is working very, very hard, because I was at a garage one time at a park, and I saw someone that was pushing wheelbarrow. I looked at this guy. This guy was sweating inside the sun,
Mm.
and I said, I had to shout one of my elder brothers. I said, "Sir, if wealth is to be created by hard work, I just saw someone that is pushing a wheelbarrow now. This person should be the wealthiest person around this area." He first laughed. he said he said that it is not so, that wealth is not by what you do, but by what
Mm.
you become. So
Yeah.
what I would like to have us discuss before we move on to what to do now is that
What to do?
what are those signs that you see that even if the person is working very hard, oh, the person is staying
Mm.
up late, the person is spending extra hours at work, what are those
Mm.
things, those indicators that you see that you feel like this person, and this person is going, this person cannot build wealth? So what are those things? Just mention like two of them, and then we trash it from there.
All right. So we have to look at some behaviors, right? It will be
Mm-hmm.
behaviors of
Mm-hmm.
people that, even though they might be busy
And working hard and all those things.
and working hard,
Yes.
their life will
Mm-hmm.
still remain at that particular point. They will still be stuck at that particular point. So the first that I would say is the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset, because there was a movie that someone recommended for me, The Prince and the Pauper. So in that movie, the Pauper was the Prince and Pauper. They knew themselves, and then the Prince said he wanted to behave like the Pauper. They exchanged roles.
Mm-hmm. Their
Prince
identity.
became the Pauper, and then the Pauper became the king. They tried to do that for like
Mm-hmm.
1 week, but then you will see that
Okay.
even that Prince trying to become the Pauper, He struggled a lot to become a pauper. And that pauper,
Absolutely.
trying to become a king, he struggled a lot to become that prince because it all starts with the mindset. So you may be doing something and people are seeing your jamboree of activities of efforts. But then if the mindset is not right, if you don't have the mindset of work. I was listening to Dr. Umeogo one time ago, and he said that it all starts with knowledge, getting the right knowledge. Even going back to the Bible says, get knowledge. That in all you're getting, get knowledge, get understanding. So it all starts with mindset. You must have the mindset of what? You must get that right upstairs first before it now begins to show. So it's just like um, there's an output. Let's say there's a tree.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tree and then it's bringing out some fruits. If you don't like whatever it is bringing out, you just have to go back to the roots or plant something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Like you're seeing a kind of result in your life, and the next thing is not to tackle those results. The result is not the problem. The problem starts with the input because that thing is just effect, it is just output. The problem starts with the input. So there are some people that even though they are doing all those kinds of activities, you see that in their lives mentally they don't have that mindset. Secondly, you see that they um they might want to, or there are some people that even when they are trying to build relationships, because relationship is also part of it. When you are trying to build relationships with people that can take you from where you are to where you need to be, they mess it up in the long run. They mess it up. They mess it up by trying to be way too forward or trying to show themselves that they know something. Because one thing about people that are not going to be worthy is that they believe that they know everything. That's it. They believe that they are the ones that know everything, that there's nothing that you can tell me now that I don't know. So one thing that you must know that if you want to be wealthy, you have to take the heart of a child. You have to say that even with the things that I have learned so far,
I'm still
I
learning
don't
more.
exactly. I still need to learn new things. I still need to upgrade my mindset. So those are the two ones that I can bring up for now.
All right.
So you're right.
Thank you very much. Because the issue of mindset, in fact, if we are to dwell on it today, we are not
Mm,
going to finish it.
exactly.
It's a very
Exactly.
very like it's a very
Broad
very
topic.
tough thing, and currently I'm actually studying on that mindset of a thing, and then I had to ask myself that, for instance, we are both Christians now, and we should be picking
Mm,
our examples from the Bible. So I had to ask myself at a point that every single person that won in the Bible, it was not, most of them were people like David, people like Ruth. They do not look like it on the physical, but there
yeah.
is something that was in their mind that kept on pushing them to, to move forward, to charge ahead and say, oh, I need to know the end of this thing. And the second thing you mentioned is that they had a childlike heart, just like David. He trusted God that,
Yeah.
oh, the same way he delivered me from the lion, the same way he delivered me from the bear, of course, he's going to deliver me again in this one. So
Yeah.
it's a very, very, so now let me ask now, how does you said, you mentioned the habits of the people that we likely not going to be wealthy, and then we were talking about
Yeah.
how to exchange it for wealth. So what can you say, like, is it that how do I want to ask this question? Is it that when my mindset suddenly change as a person, and then
Hmm.
because some people they will be listening to affirmation, or they will be saying, I will never be poor in my life, and for 40 years they will still be poor. And in their mindset, they believe that they cannot be poor. So how do you bridge the gap between taking action and then changing this mind? Like, how do you bring it to life? Those 2.
Okay, so there is something about identity. It all starts with
Mm-hmm.
knowing your identity. The last live that I had, I broke identity into four different things. First is who you are. Second is the potential that you have. Third is what you can do. And then the last is what you can become. So let me go again. The first is who you are. The next is the potential in you. The third is what you can do, which is your capacity and your capability. Then the last is what you can become. That is the future you. So when you get these four things right, you'll be able to navigate your way into wealth. When you get your identity, it all starts with identity. So even though you are doing affirmations, doing the affirmations, trying to memorize scriptures or something like that, it all starts with identity. If you don't get your identity right, it's not going to, all those affirmations will not be effective. Affirmations or daily scripture, they are very good, but then without getting your identity right, it's not going to be really effective. So on the identity, if you are to start with who you are, you will ask yourself, who am I really? So start by asking yourself, who am I? Some people, you'll be surprised that they really don't know who they are until they ask themselves these questions. They really
Uh-huh.
haven't gotten to explain who
just,
they are
just like
until they
Apostle
ask
Femi
these
Lazarus,
questions.
you say,
Yeah,
if he will ask you now, you are 30 years old, you say you are still discovering yourself. What are you discovering?
exactly. So they really don't. They are one thing that they are trying to dodge those questions. And nothing will help if you are trying to dodge those questions, those four questions of who you are, the potential in you, what you can do, and what you can become. So when you say who are you, it depends on your mindset, your framework. So some people will just say that okay, I'm just probably Samuel and this and that, I am a router,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But then who they are really, they've not really scratched the surface of who they are. And we cannot talk about this topic of who you are without going back to the scriptures. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way because that is our manual for living. That is our manual. So when you are saying who are you have to go back to the scriptures to see where God said that ye are gods. That's it. You have to go back to that scripture that said, ye are kings, you are priests, you are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. So there's just no way we can talk about who you are without going back to the scriptures. So when you begin to know that, okay, this is who I am in God, and then you write it down, okay, I am a king, I'm a priest, I come from royalty. Who I am is not dependent on where I came from, pertaining to my family, my mother, my father. No. Who I am is not dependent on that. Who I am is not dependent on my environment. Who I am is not dependent on my upbringing. Who I am is not dependent on the situations around me. Who I am is not dependent on the school I went to. Who I am is not dependent on what I am experiencing now. Who I am is dependent on the word of God. That it that the word has said
Do you
that
know
if
that? Do you know that this thing you are saying now, it's a very very difficult matter if you will agree with me, because
one,
most people, for instance, now, if they will ask me now, just for instance, that's who I am, I can easily say that I am a student.
mm,
I can easily say that I am a doctor. I can easily say with the environment around me, someone can easily say I am poor or I am rich.
yeah,
So it's a very it takes the grace of God and the opening of your eyes not to define
mm,
yourself based on
consciousness,
your current position. You have to
mm,
be so it is even a level of faith for you to define yourself with the things that you are not seeing. So that's
mm,
just one thing that so that some people will not start confusing themselves that but I am my name is Emmanuel or my name is Samuel. Are you saying that I
yeah,
should not answer that? No, that's not what we
mm,
are saying. But
exactly,
your identity, who are you? It is
mm,
rooted in the fact that and when Jesus says something that you are gods, right? It
yeah,
is you have to put yourself in the shoe of God. Like, is there anything
exactly,
possible for God to do? So if
mm,
God is inside of me, then this wealth, it even said that is the one that gave us the power to
to get
create
to,
wealth,
yeah,
to get wealth. So he is the one that is inside of you as a person creating
yeah,
that wealth. And if you are formulated with, like you said, the environment we grew up in, the kind of work we do, and all those things, if those are the things that are formulating your ideas, then I mean your identity, then it takes God Himself and His grace to bring
mm,
you also into that spiritual consciousness of, oh,
side,
my needs are provided in
mm,
according to the riches of Jesus Christ in His glory and many other
yeah,
things that we have access to. So it just takes the grace of God. I just want to chip in that as you
yeah,
continue to the next one.
okay, exactly, that's very good, thank you. So yes, it all chips into your identity. And then next, we go to the potential that you have. I think all of these four subjects on who you are, your potential, what you can do, and what you can become. One of these days, we would just have a concise session on it. Like it will be a different session on just who you are, so that we can, explain more on it. Then another day we cannot touch on the potential that you have, because this one that we're doing today is just like an introduction to it. So
Mhm.
one of these we can just touch on the four differently. So let's go to the potential that you have. If you ask the average Nigerian or the average person, and you ask that person that, do you know the potential that you have on a scale of 10? What they will do will surely be below 5.
I'm telling you.
It will surely be below 5. The average person really does not know the potential that he has. I was saying this some time ago that you can become a king if you can become the president of a nation if you want. You can become the wealthiest person in the world if you want. You can become the wealthiest African if you want. You can become the wealthiest person in your family if you want. It just depends on knowing what you want and knowing what it takes and being ready to do what it takes. You can become anything that you want to become in the surface of this earth. God has given is in His benevolence has given us everything that we need for life and godliness. So, if there's anything that your mind can conceive, you can surely achieve it.
And you should be able to receive it.
Yes. If there's anything that your mind can conceive, you can achieve it.
Oh, I guess his network is fumbling. So I'm just going to pick it up from there where he was saying that there is nothing that you can perceive as long as you can the level at which I would dare to say that anything you can see, anything you can picture, then you should be able to feature in it. And that reminds me of many people that, they will talk about dreams and their vision, and then they will achieve it because they have seen it so much. You see, many people are living a life of something that is below themselves, something that they know that they cannot achieve. Now, talking about potentials that are inside of you, that even if you yourself do not know that you can do those things, but they are inside of you. Some people around you may be seeing it. I think his network is coming back. Okay, all right, you are back. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, but it seems my network is bad.
All right. Okay, that's fine. Let me just finish this third line and then
Okay.
you continue from there. So I was saying that potential are things that even you yourself you may not see them, and they are the things that even your environment, your current situation does not look like it. I know, for instance, I'm going to give an example. I know that I've always loved talking, giving insight into people's situation and all those things. But if anybody tell me, or if anybody told me those days that I will be at the front of the camera now, I would say that it's a lie. But that
Hmm.
was a potential in me, which as time unfolds, I walked into it. So that is potential for us. They are the things that are inside of us that as a person, you yourself may not know that you'll be able to do it, but somehow life will
Yeah.
demand that you do it, and then inside of you, that thing will well up immediately that this thing is something I can handle. It is something I can do,
Yes.
and you will walk into it without stress. And also, if you're asking about how can I know my potential, can I walk into my potential, I dare to say that there are things that you find interesting, or things that you find easy to do, or things that
Hmm.
you see people doing, and inside of you, you are saying that I should be able to do this thing better.
I can do
That does
this
not
too.
mean that does not mean that the first time you do it, you will not fumble, you will not make mistake.
Yeah.
But
Hmm. Exactly.
as you continue doing it, you see, it's just like this Greek word they used to call it dynamo, right? And dynamo is just like a raw power, just like a potential energy. It is only
Hmm.
when you put it to work that you will see the full capacity of that thing.
See the
So
yeah. Exactly.
that's how potential is inside of us. Everybody has potentials. And if you ask many great people today, most of them have only seen 1% of what they are currently doing. They have only
Hmm.
seen that,
Yeah.
oh, I can become this, but they never expect that level. For instance, now if you ask Mark when he started the Facebook project, it was just for his university. It was just a platform where students can come together and discuss, and after school just
Yeah.
have fun.
Exactly.
He did not have it in his mind that it is going to be a global
Global projects.
company
Hmm.
today. So
Yeah.
that's how it is. Your potentials, they used to come in a clue. They will come around the things that you can easily
Hmm.
do, the things that you find interest and joy in, and those things. That is where those are the places where your wealth is are hidden. The things
Hmm.
you find joy in doing. Those are the places where your wealth are hidden. Don't forget, it is called potential. So there's no limit
Yeah. So
to
what you can do.
what a potential can become. There's no limit to it. So I've just finished
Hmm.
that thought line. You can pick it up from there on to the next one.
All right. All right. Great. So I believe you can see my video. Can you see my video?
Yes, yes.
All right. All right. So all right. So that's a very good one on potential. So let's go to the next one on what you can do. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
touch a bit on it and also on what you can become. And then one of these days we just have a very, very expansive one on it. So on what you can do, we've talked about your potential. That means what you have in you. That thing that is not yet kinetic yet. It is just a potential. So when we are now moving to the next step, which is what you can do, it depends on the last two steps. That means
The
that you've been able
identity
to
and the
find
potential
clarity. Yes, you've been
on your
able to find clarity
identity.
on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on who you are and what potential is in you. Then you begin to do that thing. You will take action. So when you are saying what you can do, you have to. The first thing that you have to do is to get knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. The next thing is now to take action. So when you're saying you want to get knowledge, knowledge on what? Knowledge on whatever you want to achieve. In this case, knowledge on wealth. So you have to get knowledge on wealth. You have to read books. I was saying this some time ago that people have books. They buy books every month. Some buy books every week, but then they don't read it. Some they
Let
are
me
just
let me
giving books.
let me
Okay.
add to what you are saying.
Yeah.
There is a layer of people that don't buy books,
Mm.
they don't read, they don't watch tutorials, they don't watch videos, but they get their knowledge from TikTok, from social media, from whatever it is.
Mm.
There's another level of people that buy books, but they don't read it. And then there's another level of people that read the books that which they bought with their own money, but they will never practice.
Yeah. They never
They will
practice
never
it.
practice it. You hear people saying that. Have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Ah, I've read
You
it.
see, yes.
Have you read The Psychology of Money? Ah, I've read it.
You see the
Have you read
verdicts.
every single book that you mention about
Mm.
self-help motivation? You have read it. And
Wealth.
when we compare your life to, you see, you are not looking like someone that want to become
That has
wealthy.
read.
So
Mm.
it got to a point in my life that I had to say that I want to stop. It was a difficult decision because
Mm.
I am someone that I learn a lot. I learn a lot. So it got to a point that I said, if I stack up the things that I have learned in this life,
Mm.
right,
Yeah.
versus the level at which I am currently operating, they are two different things. Like the
Exactly.
things that I've learned are more than the things that I'm operating in. And then I said, for now, I don't want to learn anything that I will not be able to implement immediately.
Mm.
Because you will see most people carrying the melders of, oh, I have watched this video,
Of
I have
knowledge.
completed this
Mm.
course, I have done
Gathering
this,
too
I
much
have done
knowledge.
that. But what have you used it to do? Nothing.
Mm.
So if, just like you are saying, that if we pursue knowledge, then we have to be ready to put the knowledge we are pursuing
To
into
action.
action. So that's
Mm.
just what I want to add to that.
Mm. Exactly. Exactly. That's very true. So nothing happens until someone take action. That's it.
Mhm.
Nothing happens until someone takes action. You can read all the books in the world. If you don't take action, it's those that did not read and that did not take action. They are still in the
The
same
same,
room.
of
They are
course.
still in the same room. And for those that we just go to TikTok and then get their inspiration from TikTok, those ones just know that their lifespan is 2 minutes span, or their attention span is 2 minutes span. It is two
imagine
minutes
imagine
because
imagine someone that want to learn how to become the next Elon Musk. You want to learn it in
Exactly.
2 minutes video. How? How?
In a 2 minute video, maybe even 1 minute and 10 seconds. So their attention span is
That's
very, very
serious.
low. That's why reading books is the best bet. Then after that is audiobooks. Because when you are
Hmm.
reading book, it will be very boring, but then it holds your
It will
attention
come
span.
to you. Hmm.
Exactly. It will make you to just have that longer attention span rather than going to TikTok and doing those things. So yes, when you read, you take action on whatever you've read. And one clause on taking action is that you have to take action under a mentor. Some people will take action and then they will just take the action, they will just do because they've read books, because they feel energetic, they feel energized. They
Motivated.
just go and then they feel motivated, they just go and then go and take action straight up. You make mistake, oh,
Of course.
you make mistakes, you make big mistakes. So that's why you have to take action under a mentor so that you be mentored on not on what to do right, so that your mistakes will be minimal. Although sometimes you still make mistakes, but then it will be minimal when you have a mentor, when you are taking action under a mentor. So that's that. Under what to do, you have to get knowledge, then take action under a mentor. Now on to the last one, which is
Uh,
what you can
before be,
become.
before we move on
Okay.
to that last one, I just want us to elaborate a little bit on this issue of uh, taking action under a mentor.
Yeah.
Now, there are some
Mm.
people that will be like, "Oh, must I have a mentor?" That's number one. And there are some people that they are looking at someone they want to become, but there is no
Mm.
way to get to them. That's another one.
To reach
And
them.
then to reach them actually. And
Yeah.
then what do you do in, for instance, now you are starting, let me say, you want to start a lecturing job, but you do not have a mentor in that aspect,
Mm.
or let's say you just got your um and what's this thing called, the letter they give to employment letter, and you have to start
Yeah.
work on Monday. So how do you take
Mm.
action when you have not gotten a mentor in the area, in the particular area of your interest?
Okay. So from the first one, do you need a mentor? Yes. It's very, very important to get a mentor. It's very, very important to get a mentor. And getting a mentor does not mean that you because it's true that there are some mentors that you'll be seeing them from afar. There are some mentors that you learn from them from afar. You
Hmm.
learn from them from afar, and there are some mentors that you learn from them very, very closely. So those are the two types of mentorship. You learn from afar and then you learn very closely. And let's say for the instances that you've given, you see that some of them it can be that you learn from afar and some you learn closely. Like the one that you said, someone takes a lecturing job. It's very, very likely that there's already a professor that this new lecturer will be looking up to. So it can be a lecturer, it can be a professor from another department or another faculty. Then you can learn from afar. Then there can be another professor in that department. That means that you have the opportunity to learn closely. So there will always be a mentor. That's just the role of it. There will always be a mentor in any space that you are in any field. There will always be a mentor. There will always be those that have gone ahead of you and those that will go that are below you, or that are coming to where you are coming to, or that are coming to where you already are. So that means that you have people that can mentor you, and you also have people that you can mentor. So there will always be mentor in any space, either lecturing or getting teacher, or probably the other instance that you give, that someone just got a new job. When you get into that space, there will be someone or a line manager that you can study from afar. Then you can now try to move closer to them. That's it on mentorship. So I believe that's clear. Exactly, exactly.
Yes, yes. Let me quickly respond to the chat now. Someone is asking, where are you from? We both are
Okay.
from Nigeria by the grace of God, and we've been friends
Hmm.
for years now. So we are going together, and even though we are not currently at the same location
Same
physically,
place.
but yeah, yeah, the same place physically, but we are still together, we are growing together. So let us move on to the last one as we begin to wrap up. We are already on the
Okay.
40 minutes
Yes.
mark.
All right. So the last one is what you can become. Now, what you can become here, that means that you've already settled who you are. You've already settled you've already settled who you are, you settled the potential in you, you settled what you can do. That is taking action and getting knowledge. Then the last is what you can become. And what you can become here talks about how far you can go. It talks about the kind of lifestyle that you can possibly get to, the heights that you can get to. I was doing a research yesterday on this man in Yade on his $2 billion companies. Yeah, I think he's a co-founder of Flutterwave and Andela. Now he's building another one, Move, and it is a $1 billion. That is $3 billion companies. So, and I was trying to, just see how far I can go. I was, because some people in their whole life, they've not conceived having 100 million naira in their whole lifetime. Like they've not conceived it before that in their whole lifetime they can have 100 million naira. Some people it is just 1 million naira, and that's okay. In this life, let me just have 1 million naira and I'm done for life. Some
Do
people
you
it's
know
just
that there
500K.
was a time that you used
Yeah.
to think that if you have 1 million naira, man,
Mm,
you are on top of the world. There's
exactly.
nothing you cannot do. When I look back at those days now, I just used to laugh at myself. I wanted to complete
Mm,
that photo. I just remember this now. You can complete it, then I will have my own.
mm. So that's it. Some people, I when I was doing that study yesterday, I was just looking at myself earning, close to 170 billion naira in my lifetime. And then even as at today, I was just saying that can't I even earn more than that? That there's so much potential that I have in myself. So why should I now limit myself to 170 billion naira in a lifetime? So you have to be able to know what you can achieve. That is what you can become. You have to conceive. There's this quote that if your heart can conceive it, your hand can achieve it. Your hand can touch it, in as much as you can conceive it. Take the story of Abraham, for example. When Abraham was when he was still Abram, God said, "I will make you the father of all nations." His mind could not conceive that thing. Like he was finding it very difficult to conceive it. Then
How
one day
true,
God
how
just
true.
said, "Okay, let me give you this insight." He told him, "Come outside of your house." He said, "Count all the stars that you can see from where you are standing. Count all the stars." And he will try to count one, two, three, count to maybe 300. Then he will see that he can't even count all those stars. He said, "I can't count all these stars." And God said, "As numerous as they are, that is how the generations that will come out from you will be, as numerous as the sands of the sea." And the Bible recorded it that, and Abraham believed God, and it was counted to him as righteousness. So it all depends on what your eyes can see. It depends on what your mind can conceive. It depends on what you can see yourself becoming. It depends on how you see yourself that in the nearest future, the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years. Some people like this, they can't they've not even thought about the next 2 months of their lives. They've not thought about the next 5 weeks of their life, not to even talk about the next decades. So it all depends on what your heart can conceive. It depends on what your heart can conceive. So I believe I've been able to
All
give
right.
clarity on that. We'll expand more on that
Yes,
on some other days.
of course. And what I
Are
just
you
want
still
to
there?
add to it is that, yeah, I'm with you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Hello,
Can
are
you
you
hear
there,
me?
Emmanuel?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I don't know if you are
It's your
still here.
network. I'm still here. Can you hear me? Are you there? Can you still hear me now? I guess it's your network. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right,
Sorry,
that's perfect.
my earpod is having an issue.
All right. So what
Yes.
I wanted to add to it is that, you see, I noticed that the the things, just like you said, that as your eyes can see it, then your hands will be able to receive it,
Mm,
right? So
exactly. Yes.
one thing about the Abraham you mentioned, I did a series on Spotify, Transforming Your Mind, and
Yeah.
it's on Spotify now, Unfiltered Beloved. That was where I talked about this issue. Is that God
Okay.
has tried to convince Abraham for a long time. God has tried to
Mm,
convince him always until he was able to see by himself that, so this is what God means. So, one
yeah.
thing that I would say that is making people to have that is not allowing them to see how much they can do is first
Mm,
because of their environments. They are not seeing beyond
exactly.
themselves. I dare to say that most people are not
Mm,
seeing it beyond themselves. There's a message
beyond themselves.
on YouTube by TD Jakes. It says living beyond me.
Mm,
When there was a time that the only reason I wanted to escape poverty is because when I saw the people before me, I don't want to become like them. But
mm,
I found out that this is not the only reason Elon Musk is doing so much now. The
exactly.
dream in his head is beyond I don't want to be poor. Is beyond I don't want to end up like my father. It is basically
Yeah.
beyond, I need something to eat and drink. It is beyond as long as as long as I can fuel my vehicle, as long as I can
Mm,
eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. His dreams are beyond those things. So if I also
exactly.
will
They are
achieve
global.
more, then yes, if I will achieve more, then my if I will thank you for that. If my dream will be more than my country, then I need to think beyond my country.
Mm,
If what the capacity of what I can do will be beyond my family, then I need to stop thinking about only myself, my wife, and my children or my parents alone.
exactly. Mm,
I need to start reasoning. For instance, now someone that is pursuing uh when I become finally wealthy, I want to sponsor 10,000 students in school. every
mm,
4 years, 10,000 students every 4 years. You cannot compare how wide that person's vision will be on everything he's doing to the person that is just saying,
yeah,
at most, I just want to have two cars. Two cars safe is too much. Let me just have one
and two
small car
children.
that I'll be driving and two children. And I just want to sponsor them in school. I just want to be okay. These two, you cannot compare their vision, you cannot compare the way they live their life, you cannot compare the things they are doing to what, like, you cannot compare them with one another. So these are the things
Exactly.
that we need to start thinking about. Beyond me, anywhere we want to
Mm,
work, anything we are doing, we need to start thinking that how can this thing not only affect me, the multiplier effect of this thing that I want to do, how can it not only
exactly.
affect me? For instance, someone that you will always go to his house and his house is always clean, is totally reasoning beyond himself.
Yeah.
Because at any point in time, someone can visit him. It is not that when, hello, I'm coming to your house, then you start arranging your place.
Mm, arranging your house.
So such a person is living beyond him. And the one
And
that
it's
we use to
expecting
wrap it up
someone.
is expecting every single time.
Mm,
So the one that we
yeah.
use to wrap it up is the fact that a righteous man leaves inheritance for his children's children.
Children's
But for
children.
someone, you cannot compare someone that has that mindset with someone that is planning on, let me send my children to school so that when I retire, they will come back to feed me. Versus
Yeah.
someone that is thinking, even my grandchildren, I'll be the one paying their school fee, not because my children are not okay, but because I have to leave an inheritance for them.
Legacy.
So it's
Exactly.
a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So that is from my own end.
Yes, that's it. Very good. Thank you very much. So I believe that'll be a wrap on it. So just to recap,
Of course.
the four steps of an identity is who you are, the
Mhm.
potential that you have in you, what you can do, and what you can become. So those are the four steps of an identity. Then later we'll look at the next line of action on wealth, on the concept of wealth. So that'll be a wrap from my end.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And to everyone that
Yes.
tuned into this live session today, I am Emmanuel Beloved, and this is the Unfiltered Beloved
Yeah.
YouTube channel. I'm on Spotify as Unfiltered Beloved. I'm on Facebook as Emmanuel Beloved, on TikTok as Emmanuel Beloved, even on Instagram as Emmanuel Beloved. And here is my friend here, Adekunle Global.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
we are
global
going
Adekule.
global this time around.
Yes, exactly. We are going
Absolutely.
global.
So you can find him on Facebook as Adekunle Samuel. And I believe
Yeah.
You are still on TikTok now.
Yes, I'm on
So you can
TikTok as
find him on
global
TikTok,
Adekule also.
Global Adekunle on TikTok, on
Mm.
Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere.
And on
We used to
LinkedIn.
release content on LinkedIn, everywhere. I'm also on LinkedIn. We release content on topics like this: mindsets, wealth creation, becoming a better version of yourself. And of course, it is all done in
Exactly.
following God. Yeah. So thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Yes. Thank you
Take
all
care of
for having
yourself too.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Yes. Bye.
Mhm.